I really want to ask everybody here, if you watched Bridgerton, why did you watch it till the end?
Plot.
Here's the shout out you were asking for. So here we go. Are we ready for the first question? It goes now. So most people don't know it. The jazzy tune of the popular Hindi sitcom Sarabhai vs. Sarabhai was sung by this famous singer who interestingly started her music career performing at nightclubs. Can you guess who this singer is?
OMG, the answers have already started coming in. Did we just say right answers only? Because everyone seems to be like...
Not Sarah Behan.
Sarah Behan.
I think this is Usha Uthup, and I have a fun fact associated with her. So I didn't know this, but there is this Bengali band called Fossil, and they have this very trippy video for HIV awareness with Usha Uthup. So I can maybe leave a link in the chat. It's a very trippy and weirdly made video, but the intentions behind it are good. But yeah, I did not know she sang with Fossil for HIV awareness.
That'd be amazing. Thank you so much if you can do that. We have a very Usha Uthup connection here, right? Two of our parallels grew up in the center of all Usha Uthup music. And it's Bengal.
I was kind of dying to sing. Koi yahan nache nache, koi wahan.
That's the go-to song though. What are your favorite songs?
Adored her. So I used to sing, I remember her in some film singing Viva Palula, she's my baby. Viva Palula, don't mean. Anyway, so I used to be a singer also before I started talking. Fun fact. So I used to sing and everything. So I used to do her songs and I always thought my voice was so Usha Uthup. It used to be great fun to sing like her. And so this, what you're seeing, this picture was from an award show where I was on stage and she was performing and she asked me to come on stage and sing with her. Guys, I just died. It was like one of my favorite moments to sing with the legendary Usha Uthup. And before that, I'd gone to Calcutta and been to Trinca and like worshipped the ground, kissed it and all of that. And I got to sing with her. Yeah, man, look how happy you're looking about it.
That's so cool. That's really cool.
Hannah, imagine sharing the stage with
her. She's so cool, yeah.
She's totally. This is an ode to her then today in some way. This bindi.
Yeah.
Her signature bindi. She also wears Kanjivaram sneakers. That's what I got to know while I was searching, looking at her videos. Kanjivaram sneakers and Kanjivaram. Yeah.
Janki knows something.
Yeah.
Yes.
The whole thing that she actually started in Chennai, I got to know after coming to Chennai, after living in Kolkata, and my father saying, this is the club where she sang. This is the club. I wish somebody said, this is the Kanjipuram that she wore, This is the bin.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Will happen someday. Will happen. She's awesome.
Having rocked it in sari. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the one.
And we have this. Yes. Oh my God. It's a total stress buster. I think I was so nervous today, and I just played this Levi's ad.
What a perfect
we can hear it, right?
question to start with, for sure.
So started the whole energy.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Okay, I think we can move on.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, because I already sang it for you.
Yeah, you already sang it for us. Thank you, Minishka. You are our in-house radio now. I think, can I give you a cue? Yes. It was super cheeky because women weren't allowed in the library until 1980. And we are busting in, and the first thing we are doing is a scene of oral pleasure. Says intimacy coordinator Lizzie Talbot about a scene from this raunchy book adaptation. Which book adaptation we're talking about?
Astha. It's a great time to ask Astha questions.
It's okay. It's for fun. We can give clues.
Ooh, I'm loving the answers. Very interesting answers.
How are you? I'm getting the right answers on my thing. Is my thing skewed a little bit? They're all right.
Mostly right, yeah.
There's some here and there, huh? The little sprinkles of very interesting answers coming.
Astha, you tell us what you're seeing because we're not seeing this, Astha.
I think everybody knows it. Nandita raised her hand. Can we unmute her?
Yeah, just before I go ahead with it, the person who led me to this question is actually on the panel. So I guess in the last quiz, there was a question relating to Asta ma'am, and then I wanted to really know what is this whole deal, and that's how I got into like a particular page where I got to know this is okay. They're in other industries as well, and she's the first in our nation. So yeah, so the answer is Bridgerton. I hope that's right.
Yes.
Yes, Nandita, that's right. That's right. Do you have a fun fact to share about it? Or you can just fangirl about Asta. That's also.
She was the only reason I've not yet watched the entire series, but she was the only reason I got to the answer. Thanks.
I really want to ask everybody here, if you watched Bridgerton, why did you watch it till the end?
Plot, obviously, Nandini.
Asta, please, Asta, tell us why we watched it. I want to do a whole interview series with Asta, but here she must say something to us.
Oh my God.
Come on.
Why did I watch Bridgerton till the end? I watched Bridgerton. Why did I watch Bridgerton till the end? I guess that's the answer.
Guys.
No, but Liz Talbot is the intimacy coordinator on Bridgerton, who is a very dear friend and also somebody who's brilliant at her practice. And we were all talking about Bridgerton. It became a huge deal in the intimacy coordination sort of network, and so that is why I watched the entire thing till the end. I also watched it because, oh my God, look at
Oh my God. Yeah.
Oh my God,
That's
just
true.
look at that man.
It's a Duke Bari Kahani.
Duke Bari Kahani.
It is
Asta,
true.
Yeah, I found. Yeah.
There's a question on the chat. It says, is there an intimacy coordination network?
Oh,
Yeah.
what? Is there a network? Well, I mean, we're very few people out in the world doing this work. So, I mean, since there's such less of us, we've sort of found a way to connect with each other. But there's largely newsletters and stuff that a few of the major associations do. So, thank you, Yamini. How did I become an
I was gonna ask it, you Yamini.
I feel like this is going to become an Astha, like Astha about intimacy coordination
Asta
thing.
channel.
That's definitely a legit question. How does one become an intimacy coordinator, Asta? If you can tell us that.
So there are ways to certify to become one. So you go through the education route. I mean, you go through the education route irrespective of whether you get certified or not. I got certified. There's a couple of certifications that are available out there. One is in the US, in LA. It's called Intimacy Professionals Association certification, which is in association with SAG-AFTRA, which is their Actors Guild in the US. Then there's one which is IDC, which is Intimacy Directors and Coordinators, which is based out of New York. They have one called Intimacy on Set in London. And then there are a couple of local ones here and there. There's some in Europe, some in New Zealand, some in Australia. But the idea is that certification is not necessarily like, it's not a piece of paper that allows you or does not allow you to practice as an intimacy coordinator. The idea is to sort of go through a requisite amount of training on certain sort of topics in order to sort of become an intimacy coordinator. Some of those topics include stuff like bystander intervention and trauma handling, understanding choreography and body movement, understanding gender diversity depending on where you are, understanding the laws that pertain to sexual harassment in the workplace according to whichever country you're in. So, I mean, there's a lot that goes into it, but the idea is to just educate yourself through it. And there's a lot of great resources available online to sort of answer that question better than me, because it's very lengthy. So, what? This is her calling? Yes, it is my calling.
I can't thank God enough that you exist. Like
theory and practice.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Asta, बाद में बातें करेंगे हम.
Call करते.
Anytime.
So there was a fun fact we missed about the books, the Bridgerton books.
After the debut of the show, the novel got pretty famous. I mean, the books got very famous, and they hit the New York bestseller list 21 years after their initial publication. And this has happened with a ton of other shows as well. Like Lupin came out, and Lupin are written in 1907, but they're the New York bestsellers list this year. So that's a fun.
Yeah.
I think Queen's Gambit also did that.
Queen's Gambit.
Yeah.
And then-
So I think for authors, if you want to have, you mean come back? Nice. For authors, if you want the sales of your books to go through, get a Netflix show for them.
Renu Singh has been Googling intimacy coordination since the start of this meeting. And she says, I had no idea this was a line of work. Much more interesting than mine. Renu, I wonder what she does.
She works in pharma. That's
Oh my
interesting.
God, no, your job is far more interesting, pertinent,
How?
and relevant to. हाँ?
No, Asta, how? Asta, how?
अरे यार दवाइयाँ बनाती है मतलब हद होती है oh god I have
तुम
to
अलग
say
दर्द
this,
की दवा
The 2017 video went viral since the music video was made to promote a Delhi wedding, which popular web series took inspiration from this music video and included a story of a bride who makes a music video for her wedding. Nearly everybody is guessing it. 4 more shots, please. Do we have a wedding sound? Because that is
4 more shots?
Okay.
Guys, shots. This shots, not time shots.
Yep. Is it Made in Heaven?
It is Made in Heaven. You guessed it right. The episode Pride and Bridezilla featuring our very own and our favorite one. It was,
I didn't know that
it's so cute.
The episode was called Pride and Bridezilla till just now.
Oh wow.
I just said episode 8. And the funny thing was when the show released.
Episode 8.
Sorry? When the show released, I was bang in the middle of shooting and I couldn't watch the entire series. So I shamelessly only watched this episode. And then later I was like, I think I should watch the whole series, and I did. But this was fun. Yeah, this was a great shoot. My only instruction that I was given by Alankita, she directed this episode, and she told me was that just be totally bratty. And I was like, okay, amazing. I don't get to do that enough in my real life, so I will do it here. And of course, then she told me, I'd seen the video, and she said, this is kind of the vibe anyway. So I was like, okay, super. Good fun.
And I think that angle was very necessary, wherein, you said that it's a girl's day. So if they feel that they deserve it, they should do it. And the A-type bride kind of thing that is.
Yeah. Not sure I agree with that. Yeah, but yeah.
लड़का तो ornamental value के लिए है वहाँ पे भाई साहब.
Correct.
Yeah, they have all the. I think. Of course, it's her wedding, so she has all the right to do whatever she wants to do, right? I mean, times are changing, so you celebrate the way you want to, and mark the day the way you want to mark it. Of course, if you believe in marriages.
Wow, whether he says Indian marriages are made in Havan.
Havan, yeah.
She's very good with her puns.
I'm not.
So far.
Yes.
Are you from Pani? Sorry, that was such a bad.
Very funny.
Okay, so we have next question. Under her belt, in 2014, Laverne Cox became the first openly transgender person to grace the cover of which timeless magazine?
There's just 2 magazine names popping up. Somebody choose and tell us which one it is.
Yes. Time and Vogue. Oh, I also remember that whole Vogue trend that went around and people were recreating a Vogue magazine. Did you also do that?
Yeah.
Recreate a Vogue magazine?
For the longest time, I thought it was the truth. And I was like, how these fabulous people are being, they're just being featured on Vogue, everyone. Till I think, I saw my best friend on it. I was like, yay, Dora Bharka se. Manvi, did you do it?
No, I didn't.
Janki?
They don't want monarchies anymore, Waiting for the I have reached that stage in my life when I'm more.
Hari Om, Hari
आपके
Om.
पास क्या है? मेरे पास माँ.
Aastha to definitely was.
क्या आपके पास magazine cover है?
Manvi.
This is what I'm here for. Yeah, Manvi. Wow.
Hi, I'm confused, but I will just take a wild guess. Cosmopolitan magazine, I guess.
I fear that's not the correct answer.
But
Can I take a second
Yeah,
guess?
give clue award.
he's not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have a guess?
Clue is that the magazine's name in
Answer
the
is in the quest.
question.
Yeah.
It's in the
Yeah.
question.
Is it time?
Yes.
Is it Greece?
But Ananya was, Payal wasn't wrong because she's also the first transgender person to come on the cover of Cosmopolitan. That is
Oh, it's a fun fact.
God. It's about
time.
Yeah.
It's of course about time.
Oh, this is a much better screen.
Wow.
Yeah, it is obviously
come
that.
back.
It is
Time.
obviously the Time
Magazine.
magazine because Timeless
come.
magazine, so Time. But Payal was also not wrong. It is also the Cosmopolitan magazine. Yeah, we've also given that. She's the first openly transgender person to appear on the Cosmopolitan magazine. She also produced Disclosure, which tells Hollywood and the media's evolving view of transgender person. And she's also the first transgender person in a daytime Emmy. Like we said, a lot many firsts under her belt. So
about Emmys. Another thing, since going back from the earlier question, Arjun Mathur was nominated for an international Emmy for his portrayal of a gay man on Made in Heaven. So that is.
And he was so good.
So, do you all have any stories about like trans rep in the media? Because it is a very important issue that we're all facing when we make movies, when we make TV shows, and that's very important, right? Because the world is evolving constantly. It's changing for the better. So, do you have any stories about that? Or do any of our attendees have any fun facts about that?
Well, I mean, if I may go, okay, Malishka, go.
No. I've talked a lot. Please, I'll tell you in the end. Aastha batao.
I feel like there is a lot of lack in terms of the amount that we're representing our genders. So we're not a very gender inclusive media in India. But there's some really cool shows that are out there that have come out internationally that will probably be amazing to sort of share with the panel so that we can, talk to them about how it would, well, not ideal, but better than where we're at in terms of representation. So there's shows like there's Transparent, there's shows like Trans America, there's reality shows like RuPaul.
Yes.
Oh my God. Can we please talk about RuPaul for a second? I'm in love with RuPaul.
Yeah.
There's some regional content that's great. Janki ma'am put her hand up.
No, I just want to talk to you for a minute about the big ad which had Gauri Sawant. I use that in all my lectures for teachers and when I teach students storytelling. I think that's the beautiful ad which actually, reached many more. Even though it was an ad for Vicks, I'm sure most of you have seen it. Gauri Sawant, about her real life story, but as a Vicks ad. I don't know how many of you see. Just Google it.
Yes, it's a beautiful ad. I've seen it. It's such a beautiful ad. And there are many more ads that are coming out about trans people, right? I remember this one ad that was called...
somebody.
Yeah, that's the movie. That's a good movie. There's this ad called Change the Clap. And it's, I think, about a real life model. And it's how we have this negative perception of the clap that transgender people and the Hijra community does. And then when they achieve that, our clap changes into one of appreciation. So I think it was about that. Change the clap, how we look at trans people and the Hijra community and gender non-conforming and non-binary people. So yeah.
Sorry, Sonal, I just have one more thing to talk about. When we're talking about like trans representation in media, have any of you seen the show Pose?
Yes, Pose is a beautiful one.
So Pose, because it's about like the culture of like drag queens in like New York back in like I think the 80s.
Yes. around the
And-
Stonewall.
Yeah, and like what astounded me is how literally the entire cast is comprised of like NB and trans people, except for like Billy Porter, who's a gay man who won an Emmy for his portrayal of yeah, but Pose was like one of those shows that like everyone, you know, because I remember like with the entire cast being trans people, that's when the like a majority of the conversation came up like, hey, we made an entire show about trans people with trans people. So I don't know what you guys are like doing.
Yeah, there are like two aspects of representation, right? It's representation of trans people and representation of trans people by trans people. Those are two alag things that we need to like focus on both of them. So I really recommend all of you to watch Disclosure. It's a great documentary. And we also, like we've talked about Lakshmi Narayan Tripathi, she's the first transgender person to represent the Asia Pacific in UN, so like a political step as well. Then we have Nas Joshi, who also came, like we're talking about Laverne Cox on the cover of magazines. We have our own Indian trans people who are on cover of magazines. And yeah, we have recommendations from our panelists for shows that have a positive and a very realistic portrayal of the trans lives and LGBTQ community. We have beginners.
And not necessarily focusing on just the suffering or the
even trans joy, right? Trans joy is very, it's very important when you're, so we have Transparent, we have Beginners, I May Destroy You. I personally recommend I May Destroy You. I think Manvi also does, because it's a beautiful show. Then we have in Indian also, we have Dad, and then we also have, I don't know how to pronounce that. Dear Dad. I don't know how to pronounce the last movie, so please forgive me.
Samantara.
Yeah.
And also, I think I saw in the chat Super Deluxe.
Super Deluxe.
Yes.
Super Deluxe. Super Deluxe in Malayalam, and also I think another one, Pavakadaigal on Netflix.
Yeah, it's Santharam on Netflix
That's
also, right?
We'll make a thread and send it out so all of you can access this after the quiz also.
So because it spoke about media representation and stuff like that, I remember that many years back, and you also showed us Lakshmi Narayan Tripathi. So I think the first interview in this country, if I may say so, on or at least on radio with a transgender was Lakshmi Narayan Tripathi. It was her first interview as well on the radio here. And I still remember the opening, because like Nandini, I was very, very nervous because, you know, I had to, it was a whole new world. We were talking, you were walking on eggshells. You were like, you don't know what's right and what's wrong, because this is, you know, we moved on from there. Now you see a lot more representation, like you say. And the first question I asked her is, and I really meant to, as you'll see, I asked her, I said, you know, मैं आपको कैसे बुलाऊं, मैं आपको कैसे संबोधित करूं? But isn't that a legit question? And
what are your pronouns, right?
Like, or whatever it was at that time. And she went into this, again, I think radio's never heard. So she went into this, and I'm going to say this here because she said it's almost quote unquote. She's saying, क्या बुलाओगी? मुझे लोग हिजड़ा बुलाते हैं, मामू बुलाते हैं, छक्का बुलाते हैं, सिक्सर बुलाते हैं. तुम क्या बुलाना चाहोगे? And I was mind blown, and this is playing on radio, and I could just imagine a lot of people going, dhaad into the wall. They've never heard something like this, right? And from there, the interview just flew because it was that casual, right? And it took off. Like, to call you ma'am, or, you know, how would you? And then she told me everything about her life. I think that interview is still phenomenal. Now, of course, she's Lakshmi Ma, and great friends with her still. She was, I remember the whole akhada she had during the...
she's one of the worst leaders. She's one of the worst leaders of an akhada.
Yeah, and she's at the Mahakumbh, and she invited, and I will always regret not going, because I think it must have when was the Mahakumbh, guys? Was it like last year or a little
last 2019
19
yeah. So it can't be 19, no? It has to be 18.
It's 18. It was 18.
Yeah, we should have listened to our gut and gone there, because today I think it's exactly 1 week, and now there's 1 week left when our lives were never normal again. Matlab ek hafte mein wo din ho jayenge. Enjoy karo. So I just wanted to do a shout out to Lakshmi Narayan Tripathi and all of those people who are incidentally doing so well. We're also doing something on the radio tomorrow. If you guys are free, you must listen. It's called He to Stree Ka Safar, and we're representing a lot of people who are telling their stories of you know, what they felt and what they went through. So that's going to be on my subtle plug on my show tomorrow in the morning. This is women's day called Heat is 3.
There you
So
go, guys.
please
You
catch
have a plan for Women's Day. Just tune into Manishka's show.
Yeah. Nice.
And that's Melissa's stand. She's working.
Yeah, until the evening when I will play music for you on my channel. Come on over, baby.
Done.
Thank you so much
Nandini,
for
bye.
that. Let's move on to the next question. Yeah. So guess the actress who is both a real life scientist and interestingly and shockingly in the same field. So keep your guesses coming in, guys. I think the picture is very helpful to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You cannot miss.
Chat
Pounds
close.
close,
Okay.
pounds close, pounds close.
Yay, pounds close. Okay.
I love the way it's written in like all caps. Pounds close, pounds close.
Wild guess. This looks like Mayim Bialik. Is it her?
Nandita, you're absolutely right. This is Mayim Bialik. And
TDBT fans unite.
Yay.
Yeah. No, I was just saying TDBT fans unite.
Everyone's
She is on.
So yeah, this is Mayim Bialik. In the show, she plays a neuroscientist. In real life, she's a neurobiologist with a PhD. So kudos to women in entertainment and science. How do you handle that? That's just how much talent do you have to be such amazing women? I just envy them and I want to be like them.
You are.
Yeah. Does anyone have any fun facts that they have about Mayim Bialik or like exactly Ada Lovelace is such a legend.
Ada Lovelace.
Such a legend, dude.
Yeah, I raised my hand because the other one that comes to mind is Danica McKellar. Many of you are too young to know this, but she starred in the Wonder Years when I was growing up, and she's a real life mathematician. So
nice.
Yeah.
Fun fact: Mayim Bialik is the second female guest Jeopardy, following Alex Trebek's demise. So even more achievements, dude.
The second female guest host on Jeopardy. So this is huge.
And also to people who've watched Young Sheldon and Big Bang Theory, Zoe Perry, the woman who plays Mary Cooper in Young Sheldon, is the real life daughter of the woman who plays Sheldon's mother in the show. So mother-daughter both just grabbing the roles.
Sheldon's mom's role, yeah.
Yeah.
Although, you know, Big Bang Theory was really criticized for its portrayal of women because so they made intelligence or be mutually exclusive with attractiveness, you know, like Penny, who was really presented as someone who's really attractive, was the dumb one, and Amy and Bernadette, who were really intelligent and, you know, had achieved so much in their field of study, were again presented as unattractive women or whatever. And I think towards the later seasons, they kind of tried to compensate
that. Yeah, I think they tried to salvage that majorly with Bernadette.
Yeah.
I think it's the constant tussle of like beauty and brains, right? Can women have together? That's all.
Yes.
No, I'm not asking.
No, I have this. Wait, I'm going to show you guys this book. Wait,
have you seen us?
Yes, I have. That's why I'm not asking. That was a rhetoric question.
I know, but you know, like
guys, there's this book.
Stop. Like,
listen, cats, Manvi showing us a book.
No, there's this book called Inferior. Can you see it? I can't see my screen. It's called Inferior by Angela Saini, and it's about how science got women wrong and the new research that's rewriting the story. And this is amazing because it challenges even like the Darwinian theory and how that was completely like tilted in the favor of men, and not just in the theory itself, but also you know, the people who came up with that theory or the people who worked on that theory as a foundation and then built on that and stuff. And it's really interesting. It's damn interesting. Like, you should read it.
Guys, you have another recommendation.
Thanks,
yeah, so this is the end of the round one.
Very
fun. Women are just hungry as
go get a pizza and come
men
back
according to feminist theory. And yeah, I'm also hungry now.
Feminist.
That was a ride. Thank you so much, everybody, for backing me. That was so supportive, and I feel so warm because of all of that. And the that marks the end of round one, of course, entertainment.